Hey everybody, welcome back to the Monday Q&A show. Sure that answer your questions, helps you in a pinch, and is also being magical right now. I'm actually in the States, but I'm doing the show. Kind of did a little pre-record on this one because I wanted to make sure I didn't miss a Mondays for you. I actually just wrapped the Airsoft Palooza, and I'm probably on the way back right now to here. It's just weird. The magic of editing. Anyway, welcome back to the show. If it's your first time here, how it works is we answer your questions from the comment section. I'm being we by me and the camera because there's nobody else but that. I got so used to it. A lot of people ask why I say we. It comes from the podcast days when there was more than one of us. So yeah, that's how we answer your questions. Also do a video recommendation every single week from you. So your Airsoft questions are answered right here. Opinions, thoughts, things like that. And of course, it's a two-way conversation. I love to hear your thoughts in the comment section too. And I try to join in and favorite and like and do those things down there to help support the community that is around Airsoftology. Also, speaking of support, if you want to support the show, I have a web store with patches. I've got these plus I think 15 different designs. These are just a few of the saying patches, as well as Tactical Dogs original art. My buddy Jim, who's the artist on this one, actually works for some really big companies. I love the fact that I've been able to engage him to make some really cool tactical doggos. Free shipping worldwide, so the same price no matter where you live in the world. Get it free shipped anywhere you can imagine. So anyway, enough about that. Let's dive on into what you're really here for, and that's your questions in the Tippmann mail call. The LPN05 fan writes, "Hey Jonathan, I'm currently getting into touch with the airsoft scene, and I'm wondering why are almost all pistols available gas or CO2 powered and not electrical? The only ones I know are the SEMA CM030, CM121, CM128, Tokyo Marui High Kappa E, and M93R." So we talked about AEPs last week, actually. This kind of is a continuation of this. You're looking for more of an electrical-based pistol. I think the issue is people want the kick. I want the kick. Like when I have a pistol like these guys back here behind me, I want to pull the trigger and have it kick back on me, and I enjoy that. Unless it's like super cold out and I use an AEP, which I think is the best time to have one. They're great for that, and also for like room clearing when you don't want to like overshoot someone really close. I really think overall a realistic firing pistol is the best. I mean, even the non-blowback ones like the Mark 23 from Tokyo Marui, it's like the silent whispering butterfly of death. They're all fantastic, and I really enjoy the kick, and I think that's why you see more of them. Electric just can't give you that punch. You got to fit so much into a small package. You've got to, make it work. You got to redesign something from scratch. You've got to get special motors made that have enough power to turn all these things. It's a lot of investment, to be honest with you, to make something like this. The molding cost alone is incredibly expensive. So, I mean, it's possible, I guess, to make them. I really think so, but it's not incredibly cost effective. And then you have to go through the licensing, and do you want this? I mean, and when I can make something like this that's tried and true, this is the SAI, the Salient pistols back there, or I can make an AEP electric version of these that may not shoot as good or as hard, as crisp or as fast. You don't get that feedback. It doesn't also work as a training tool, which these are also sold as. So as somebody who makes these, well, now I really can't sell this thing as a training tool anymore. So all those reasons I think you don't see the electric pistol, you really see these gas and CO2 powered ones. I think if there's more of a demand, maybe an HPA built from scratch pistol would be super kind of cool. I think that could be kind of neat, like HPA. I know it's not electric, but have it purpose built HPA, not retrofit tap one of these guys, like actually put a little mini system in there. Hey Polar Star, I'm looking at you guys. You've always led the charge. Challenge accepted? I'd love to see it. Make it happen. A true Polar Star pistol from the ground up. I'd love to see it. Oscar Morel writes, "Hey Jonathan, what do you think is an acceptable rate of fire for your average skirmish? With the rise in Speedsoft and HPA, I find people running 50 or 60 rounds per second setups, and it gets everybody's back up as we consider it overkill. What do you think about having something like a 30 round per second limit, especially in CQB?" This is something, as of even a few years ago, I've seen a lot of CQB fields, indoor fields, go at first. Not only have an FPS limit, then they started saying, okay, a joule limit, meaning chronoing with a specific weight BB at a certain feet per second or meters per second, depending on what you're chronoing in, and calculating the joule, the energy transfer. So doing joule ratings using a heavier BB, especially because of HPA, and all airsoft has that joule creep. It's not linear. It kind of ramps up as you chrono with a lightweight BB and you put a heavier BB in, you're actually going to have more energy than you should at that lighter weight BB. I don't want to get into the math of it, but it basically means it hurts more. It puts out more energy when it hits you than if you were shooting with the lighter BB. Then we look at the rounds per second. I think this is the next evolution. And as of a couple years ago, people were already doing this, either saying semi-auto only indoors, which is respectable, I think. But a lot of them are saying, okay, there's a certain round per second limit. You can only shoot 28 or 30. I think I mentioned last week the Tippmann has locked their guns. I don't think they go any higher than 30 rounds per second. On the Tippmann, the HPA, like the Omegas and the Tippmann M4s, especially the Omega that has it's electro-pneumatic. They could make it shoot whatever, right? They could crank that thing up to 50 rounds a second, no problem, or 60, but they chose to restrict it at the board. You cannot take the limiter off. So that, I think, to me, honestly, is a good thing. I know some of you are going to get really mad. You're like, oh, Jonathan, trigger response and higher rate of fire means more of this and, whatever. A burst, as fast as you can pull that trigger, you can have 1 or 2 or 3 BBs in the air, or you can have 7 or 8 or 10 BBs in the air. And I do feel like, for me, it's overshooting, especially when you're doing an all-ages game. I look at the States. I remember, this is my perspective where I'm coming from. Like, here where I'm at now, it's 18 and up pretty much to go play. But back where I came from and started playing airsoft for almost most of my airsoft career in life, it is all ages. 10, 11, 12 years old out on the field. And you don't want to get shot with 400 feet per second and 10 BBs in a little quick burst like that because you're shooting 60 rounds a second. A little fan of the trigger is going to send 10 or 12 downrange at that target. And it's going to be a bad experience for that younger player or the newer player or even me. I don't want to get blasted with a full blast. And trust me, I played against some speed softers. I'm not going to say which field. It's not just the speed softers, but they were dressed apart. I enjoy all types of airsoft, but this one small group really put some healthy bursts. I would consider a little too much because of the rate of fire into me and a few of the players. It was not a fun experience. It wasn't enjoyable. It wasn't something that made me say, you know what, I want to go back and play against them. Now I adapted, I figured out their patterns, and I was able to compete against them very equally and get my own shots back, but I was shooting semi-auto. For me, I just wanted to get 1 or 2 good semi-auto shots in, take them out, and play the way I enjoy playing. And to be honest with you, I don't think anybody enjoys getting blasted by, a burst of 15 BBs from 20, 25 feet away at the field limit. And it's just quick burst. I mean, a couple BBs could have easily got the job done versus that. So I think rate of fire, long answer to a short question is, yeah, there should be a reasonable limit. 30's ripping. I mean, really ripping. I mean, it's moving. It's like, VFC and, like with an 11.1 LiPo, like a 20C LiPo on it, and you're still going to be under 30 on that. I mean, 30's really humming. Like it's a healthy rate of fire. And I think that's really reasonable. When you get above that, I just don't see too much of a reason. Now, if you're going to build a gun that can do that and you're going to play semi-auto, that's very different. I don't care about that. I think that's great. Build a gun, trigger response, minimum effort, maximum results, things like that. But on the other thing, yeah, I think it really is too much. My personal opinion, you might disagree, and I'd love to hear if you do in the comment section below. RPS13 writes, what's your opinion on competitive airsoft? Should it be as big as paintball used to be? I'd love it. It would be a double-edged sword, right? It would bring attention to the sport, the hobby of airsoft, all these things. But there's a lot of things I hate to be negative Nancy here. There's a lot of things that I think are going to be in the way of that. One, our guns look real, which scare a lot of people, right? They do. It's true. Like there's a lot of people that be like, oh, those guns look real. What's going on? Why are young people running around pointing guns at each other? That will always be a barrier to what we do. Like it or not, I personally think there's nothing wrong with what we do. I love it. I love airsoft so much. I think there are a million benefits that are positive for what we do. But some people will always just go, oh, those are guns. And you cannot change their mind. You can argue your point. You can explain all the positives. And there's be like, gun, bad. And that's it. That's cool. That is their opinion. And you know, nobody should have the same opinion as everybody else. I mean, everybody should have their own, but I think that's going to keep people from seeing what we do at a level of like what paintball was at its peak when it was on ESPN. You know, it was a true sport. I think the other thing too is, well, we've kind of seen there's no marking functionality in Airsoft. And not to go too deep, there have been a couple tournaments lately in 2018 around the mid and late time that didn't end so well. And I've also been a part of a few tournaments many years ago which had cash prizes that cheating happened a lot. When you put money in there and you're going to force the refs, I mean, like paintball, you're forcing the refs to call you out, right? The ref comes over, you're gone, right? You're out. And, you know, in paintball, it's easy because you got like this big splat on your goggles or in your shoulder or something like that. And well, it's pretty obvious, right? But in Airsoft, it's not obvious. You have to witness it hit. And there's a lot of people that when money comes in, hey, adrenaline's pumping, I want to win that cash prize, $1,000, $10,000 US. Yeah, you might make the ref call you out instead of you calling yourself out. I'd say if there's going to be a tournament of 100 players, well, chances are there's probably one out there that's going to do that. You know, just it's the odds. It's the people that are going to bend the rules. There's always going to be, out of 100 people, probably at least one cheater, maybe even more than one. And it will ruin it for the other 99 or that are doing it the right way. So yeah, I think that's it. And with paintball, there was the honesty of the mark, the splat. So I think those two things are really what's going to keep Airsoft from being at that level of competitive Airsoft force on force. Now, there could be other great ways to do it. I would love to see those evolve, maybe versus a clock, timing, things like that. More like 3-gun competitions. I think absolutely 3-gun is perfect for Airsoft. It's already very successful. Hong Kong, UK, IPSC stuff. Those things are great. I think we will continue to see Airsoft grow in the competitive nature in those areas. But as for like force on force, I just think we have too many things impeding us from making that happen where paintball had the advantage over Airsoft. All right, guys, that's it for questions this week, which means it is time for the Code Red Headsets video recommendation of the week. And this one comes from a self-promoted Major Woods wrote in. It's like, hey man, I'd like you to check out my channel, review it, give me some feedback. Well, why not do it online? Why not do it live here in the video? So what we're looking at here is one of his latest videos, and he's using an SSG-24. He's chopped down and he's put a suppressor on and he's doing some gameplay with it. I love how he kind of even starts Novrich style at the beginning with the kind of the Novrich, hey, what's up guys? But I think his videos are good. I really like it. I mean, to be honest with you, man, keep doing what you're doing, keep evolving, find your own way. Don't worry about changing it. Yeah, I think it's good. You got the hit markers, you got the action, you got the gameplay. Another good channel, another one under the radar for me. It's still under 1,000 subscribers. I think at the time here it's like 748, and when I clicked the button, I was 749 for subscribe. Good channel, lots of gameplay, clear action of what's going on, all the formulas I would like to see normally on there. I think if you want me to give a channel review, if you want me to get really critical, man, like when I kind of peel back the layers and use my tools and stuff, work on your tags a little bit for discovery and work on maybe your titling a little bit. Also take advantage of cards and end screens. I know you weren't doing those in there as well to help do some calls to action for subscribing and maybe also sharing some other videos that maybe cross promote. The content, keep doing what you're doing, man. And by the way, if you guys like what you see over there, Major Woods channel, go check it out. I'll have a link up in the corner if it hadn't popped up already. You can go click on it, watch his channel. Also, the link down in the description box for over to his channel. If you like what you see, hit the subscribe button on his channel and let him know I sent you. And of course, if you're not a subscriber here and you like what you see here, mash the sub button below, hit the notification bell for updates. I upload at least 1 or 2 times a week, sometimes even more than that. And I would love to have you a part of the Airsoftology family. So anyway, that's it for this week. Until next week. Go out, play some Airsoft, have some fun, but no matter what you do, call your freaking hits.